Hello, my fellow Snarkatarian. What's happening? Thank you for joining me. It's Jess, by the way, in case you didn't know that. Hey, it's me. So, I wasn't exactly sure what in the world I was going to do for this week's video. I didn't have a clue. I realized that I have a bunch of new things that I've used at least once, probably no more than 3 to 5 times. So I thought it would be fun to do kind of little chatty, not a get ready with me because I'm not going anywhere. It's actually 8 o'clock at night, so if I go anywhere, it's going to be up to bed when I'm done with this. Maybe watch an episode of Game of Thrones. A few new things that I've gotten, and I want to put them on my face and share them with you. I have gotten into Game of Thrones, so I'm now on season 3, the middle of season 3, and it's nice to see that Jon Snow is has gotten that look of bewilderment. But he got up that wall, he brought his lady friend with him, and now he's a man and belongs to the wildings, or whatever they're called at this point. So we're going to start with foundation. I'm primed. Flower Beauty In Your Prime Hydrating Primer. I also have my Maybelline Master Blur Stick here. This is the Soap and Glory Kick-Ass All Day Wear Foundation, and there weren't that many options. I got this off of Ulta. I believe it's about, I'll list the product, the price below. I was looking at some of the reviews online, and apparently it's a dupe. I don't know if you'd call it a dupe, a reverse dupe maybe, for the CYO Life Proof that everybody's been talking about and really kind of liking. The reason I call it a reverse dupe is due to the fact that usually a dupe is a product that is a cheaper version of the original. I'm not exactly sure which one came out first. I don't know if it was the CYO or this guy. The CYO Life Proof is, I believe, $6 or $7 at Walgreens. This is probably $10 more at Ulta. So it's a dupe, but it's a reverse dupe. You're going to pay more money for this. But I've heard good things about it, and I did give it a try. Of course, it's too light. This was the only color they had. This is shade 01. It was the only neutral color that I found, and way too light. So I have tried this before. I'm going to mix it with my Flower Beauty Illuminating makeup. And I used this once or twice, and I used that combination, and man, it's really nice. I'm going to use it with my It Cosmetics makeup brush. And I forgot to wet my sponge, so I'll be right back. In most of my videos, there's always something that I forget. So the makeup sponge was this week's thing. I will link all the featured makeup items down below, and then everything else I will list in the description box. So check that out if you're interested in any of that. I still don't know what's going on with these bangs. Not exactly sure. It's been an issue, all right? And we're going to dot on the face. Oh, it's still so light. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said in my last video, I'm notoriously terrible at picking out the correct makeup shade. But I do like this foundation the couple times that I've used it. And it wore pretty well throughout the day. Has a pretty good coverage to it as well. So the other thing I've been liking about this season of Game of Thrones, and I don't remember her character, but Jaime Lannister has been captured by the female soldier. And it seems like they have some kind of relationship brewing. And it doesn't seem like it's necessarily romantic. But there's definitely a kind of respect that Jaime kind of shows towards her. He's always kind of been a pompous ass. They were very vulnerable. He had just gotten his hand cut off. A lot of spoiler alerts in this if you haven't watched this. haven't watched Game of Thrones like me, but I would just assume that everybody else on the earth has watched Game of Thrones I just have not, and I've been out of the loop for so long, I assume everybody else has been in it. Kind of telling the story of how he became known to be the king killer, or the mad king killer. And it was a very vulnerable scene, and I think there's now some mutual respect between the two. He has this reputation for just kind of killing and being cocky and just being kind of this ass of a guy. And it turns out there really kind of was a reason why he stabbed the king in the back. And a somewhat respectable reason, but he's always kind of hid behind that because he has a reputation to uphold as this kind of arrogant, confident knight. So to see him become vulnerable in this situation. Got some character development going on here. Of course, as far as Daenerys, her dragons are on the prowl, and she just got her soldiers, her 8,000 soldiers, and is ready to comb the lands and get her throne back. So that's cool too. So like I said, it's a little light, but I really like the coverage of it. Kind of a satin finish to it, so that's nice as well. I did not get a new concealer at all. I'm going to use one of my trusted ones, and I'm going to just go through some of this quickly. And I'll be back in a second. Alright, so I'm going to do a little sculpting. This is the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow. This is my favorite, and I will continue to use this until I'm scraping that pan. Today's Wednesday. Monday, we finally went to see Endgame, the last Avengers movie. And it's a long movie, but it went by very quickly because it was awesome. And if you haven't seen it yet, and you are one of those people that goes in and will cry at a preview, like I did, Lion King, yeah, I did. I knew I was in trouble for the rest of the movie. I was prepared. So if you're one of those people like me, you're going to need them. Bring your tissues. I highly recommend it. It was very good. It was not quite the ending that I expected, which is good, because I try and stay away from all the spoilers for that. So that's done. I can take that off my list. That was my ice machine. Scared the crap out of me. Ending is very emotional and necessary. I think it was time for the ending. But of course, the franchise has all kinds of other movies coming out, so there's probably going to be another Black Panther, there's going to be a Spider-Man, there's going to be another Guardians of the Galaxy, which is fine with me. If you are a Marvel fan like I am, you will enjoy it. Again, I'm always out of the loop, so you've probably seen it already. I usually do my blush and my bronzer last, but I think I'm going to do that next. I'm going to be using the Pure Bronzing Act Matte Bronzer in Light. I mentioned this in my last video. This is the one that smells like chocolate. More specifically, it smells like Nestle Quick Powder. So if you don't want chocolate milk when you're using this, I don't know what's wrong with you. But it smells delightful. This is a very light bronzer. It's very subtle, which is great in the winter, especially for lighter skin. Gives you a little bit more of a glow. I'm getting to the point now, though, where what I want is some more bronze and some more warmth to my face. And this is when I don't mind like smattering all over my face if I really need to warm up the color, since my foundation is quite light. This I literally just got yesterday, and I'm super excited about it. I saw it on the Ulta website, and I had to get it because the pictures were just beautiful. This is the new Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo. And this is in Soft Peach. Hold on a second now. I mean, come on. Gorgeous, gorgeous. It's the same color, but this is, obviously the matte side, and this is the shimmery side. I used it today on my eyelids, but it is gorgeous. I love peach so much on pale skin. And the darker peaches, the more melon or like even poppier. I do get a little jealous of people that have darker skin or tan skin, especially in the summertime. Put a little bit of like this juicy, peachy, glowy color on your face, and it just makes you look so alive, and just, you don't even need much more than that. So I'm going to go in with the matte side first. Oh, look at that color. Oh, it's so pretty. This actually reminds me of the Flower Bomb drops from Flower Beauty, the kind of like a gel cream blush. It's the same kind of color and same kind of tone. It's like a really pretty wash of color, and it just, I'm alive! Oh yeah. I almost, it's hard to stop putting it on because it's just a pretty, pretty color. And I feel like it's pretty universal. The peach color is pretty universal. It's very similar to my Catrice Mrs. Summer Peach that they don't make anymore. And as a matter of fact, I dropped it and it's in a bunch of pieces and it makes me really sad. But this is just glorious. I'm actually going to go in with the highlighted side and just put a little topper. Make it a little glowier, because why not? So pretty. I'm super stoked about this one. This is so nice. I'm so happy with it. I just used it today. Like I said, I got it yesterday. Of course, I had to play around with it a little bit, but glowy, but not like blinding. It's very subtle, which is fine with me. But the color payout is so nice. Oh, love it. So I love this a lot. I'm going to do brows off camera, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I have brows on, and I also did my primer, my eyelid primer, and a little bit of powder base on that. I'm going to go into my eyeballs. Not literally, that would hurt. And I'm going to use the I Heart Revolution Maple Glazed eyeshadow palette. It is in the shape of a donut. It's freaking adorable, and it even kind of smells a little bit kind of sweet. Nice and squishy packaging. And when you open it up, you get 5 colors, 3 shimmers, and 2 mattes. And I've had Makeup Revolution. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the company. It seems like they're kind of breaking up into different subgroups. So there's Makeup Revolution that has a lot of the foundations and the concealers and some bronzers and like kind of face things. Then they also have this new group of skincare items, which looks like a lot of serums and oils and things like that. And then all of a sudden I see that they have these I Heart Revolutions, and it looks like it's their makeup palettes or eyeshadow palettes that they had in the Makeup Revolution group before. I think sometimes the color payout is hit or miss. I've not had any allergic reactions to any of these shadows. And the formula is very creamy, actually very surprisingly creamy. These shimmer colors, I'm going to try and swatch some for you. Got some shimmers here. We have like a coppery color, a gold color, and then the color in the center of the palette is a little chunkier, but it's actually very nice. I like it a lot. So I'm just going to do a little look with it. I'm going to go in with this shade here. Do everything backwards, which is a matte. It's a very kind of beigey transition shade. So I'm just going to go into my crease with that. So clearly the things that I have been chatting about the most are my TV shows that I binge watch. And somehow I talked Matt into watching the first of 3 episodes of the Vanderpump reunion. Man, I don't know why I watch that show. It is probably, now, the Housewives franchise in general has some of the most narcissistic, just ridiculous characters that I have ever seen. But Vanderpump rules, and now they're younger. I've never in my life felt so anxious during a reunion special than I did last night. if you know the characters, James is a twit from England who's come over and is working for Lisa. His family knows the Vanderpumps, and he got a job there as a busboy. He's a DJ and thinks he's the shit. He has this girlfriend. I want to call her Brittany, but I know that's not right. What the hell's her name? Anyway, she seems like a major airhead, and I just think it's because she's very naive and very sweet, and it makes her come off like an airhead. And it's a shame because she's actually very well spoken. She's kind of quiet. She doesn't get angry very easily. And I think she wants to try and see the best in people, even her scumbag of a boyfriend who's probably cheated on her 1,000 times. But she doesn't want to see it, or she wants to have, faith in him that he hasn't really done it, or she knows that he's done it in the past, but now they're living together, so wipes the slate clean. But the other girls just get on her so badly for being naive and wanting to see the best of her boyfriend. And, they're a bunch of hypocrites because a couple of them have cheated on their girlfriends, now fiancés, Jax, and they're just so hard on her, and I don't understand why, and I actually felt so badly for her. I looked over at Matt at one point, and he's just has this like zombie glazed look on his face. I'm like, you want me to turn this off? He's like, no, you can keep watching it. I'm like, but I literally was having heart palpitations. All right, well, maybe not literally, but I felt like I could potentially start having heart palpitations just because of the anxiety that I felt for this poor girl. And, I can't really call her a poor girl. She knew what she was getting into. She had to have seen this show. But God love her. I don't know. The most, entitled bartenders, waiters, and waitresses. Man, I'm in the wrong profession, apparently. I should probably go into being a waitress or a hostess somewhere out in LA. Drive around in a Mercedes or a freaking Bentley. Apparently, healthcare in Pennsylvania is not where it's at. So I'm going to do some shimmers. I think these blend out really nice. I like the colors. I like this kind of rusty matte color. And they have a nice blend to them. There's not a lot of fallout. I think they're quite lovely. Take the gold and kind of press it on the eyelid. It does have a mirror, but it's very cloudy. So as much as it kind of makes my eyes water if I use this mirror, I'll just kind of put that all over the lid. But these are they're very creamy on the fingers. You got to build them up a little bit. I'm not sure how many, they have a strawberry, they have a blueberry, they have a chocolate glaze. There might be a fifth one. But this is nice. The one thing that this palette is missing is a darker color. Like a dark brown, because I don't line my eyes with eyeliner. I usually use a eyeshadow. I'm going to go in with that coppery color. And kind of hit the outer corner, the outer V. Wouldn't mind if there was just a darker color just to give it a little bit more dimension. And because the warmer or the darker matte color is very similar to the copper shimmer color. I'm just going to go in the inner corner, kind of blend that into the middle with that light kind of champagne-y color. Just kind of brighten that up again. I think that's nice. It's a good inner corner color. Maybe a little bit of highlight on here. And then I'm going to go in with the old trusty Too Faced chocolate bar palette, and I'm going to take the color Triple Fudge and line my upper lash line with it. And then I'm going to go back to this donut. I'm going to take the matte kind of coppery color. And see how much I can make my eyes water. And then something else, I had forgotten that I got it. I was going to use it with my sci-fi inspired makeup. And then just kind of threw in the towel with it. But this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Multi-Stick. Bam! And it's kind of glittery and just really bam. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on my lower lash line. Just going to give it a little pizzazz. And we're going to do a little mascara. I do have a couple new lippies from BH Cosmetics. These are the Cashmere Creme Lips Tea, which is a nice little nude color. And Shook, that's what it was. This is Shook. Let me do a couple swatches here. And they're nice. They're on the matte side, but they're not super drying, which is nice. And they have some nice color payout here. And I think I'm going to use tea. So it's kind of a squeezy tube, but then there's a wand applicator, doe foot applicator, which is very hard. It doesn't have a lot of give to it. I'm not quite sure if I like that or not. But it has a nice feel to it. It has a nice kind of slip. It's not super sticky. Like I said, it doesn't feel really drying. This color is more my lip shade, but a tad darker. So there we are as far as makeup. Finally, as far as setting sprays, I have the L'Oreal Shake and Glow. This is quite pretty. Kind of melts everything together. You do have to shake it. There's a lot of glow in there. And we'll give it a little mist here. The sprayer is so nice. And it smells like kind of green tea, kind of like the Flower Beauty hydrating setting spray. Oh, it's hair. But it gives you just such a nice glow. So this is my new stuff. I really like it. This blush is just, gives you all the feels. Makes me feel nice and warm and cozy and happy and like it's summertime, and I got a nice flush on my cheeks. I was outside gardening or, something domestic like that, because that's how I roll. I do want to discuss, before I go, one thing with y'all, since I have been a little bit chattier about other things. Now, most of it has been about my terrible TV habits, and I will probably discuss that and chat about that with you a little bit more throughout my channel. But there's one thing that I've kind of had on my mind here, and I do want to bring it up to you. I don't have that many subscribers. The majority of them, of you, are probably friends and family, which I absolutely appreciate you subscribing and, being part of the Snarkatarian family. There are also some of you that don't know me at all, but for some reason found something in my channel, in my videos, that you decided to subscribe. And for that, I am very much appreciative. You didn't have to do that, but you did, and you're sticking it out with me. So I feel like I want to do something a little bit more. Of course, I want to do as much makeup and skincare as I can. That's why I started my channel. That is my passion. There are other things that I enjoy too. And again, I'm going to bring her up. This is the second time I've brought up Bailey Sarian. I talked about her in my sci-fi inspired makeup. And then she also has on Mondays kind of a murder, mystery, and makeup series that she does. So if you haven't seen her yet, check her out. She's pretty funny, and I enjoy watching her videos. But she's taking two things that don't necessarily go together, other than her discussing unsolved murders and mysteries and conspiracy theories while she's putting on makeup, and that's kind of her her series that she's come up with. And I was trying to think if there was something like that I could maybe try on my channel. What I've come up with, maybe, is touchy. It's a touchy subject. It's not politics, but it's the next thing, which is religion. And I used to say, you know, I'm not spiritual, or I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But the older I get and the more experiences I've had, I've come to realize that I am not just spiritual, but I consider myself religious. I do not go to church on a regular basis. It's been years since I've been to church. But I feel like there's a pull there. Now, this is my channel. I can pretty much do whatever I want on it. However, I'm coming to you, my subscribers, to get your feedback. Like I said, it's a touchy subject. Sometimes you hear the word religion or God or Jesus, and you're like, nope, I'm not going to get involved with that. So I don't know if this is something that I want to try to incorporate. I mean, sometimes it seems a little silly that I'm going to be putting on makeup and talking about deeper issues, religious issues, or just religious stories, not even issues. But I feel like it doesn't matter what religion you are, if you're agnostic, if you're atheist, if you're Wiccan, if you're Buddhist, or, you know, anything like that. I feel like people can connect with stories, with experiences. And that's what I feel like I need to talk about. Again, I am bringing this to you. I would like your feedback. I would like your comments if this is something that I can maybe do on this channel, maybe once, you know, every 6 weeks, once every other month. Is it something that I should do and start a different channel and keep this obviously, as well as the other channel? I don't know, but I feel like I'm drawn. I feel like I'm being pulled to speak about things. And it's just, like I said, it's not judgy. It's not preachy. It's just sharing experiences that I've had. And I probably think my family might be a little surprised to hear that this is something that I would consider talking about. Because I'm not one of those people. For a long time, I wasn't even on social media. I had Facebook and I wasn't even on it. So as I said in my welcome video, here I am putting myself out there, not only coming out of my shell as far as social media, but talking about things that you're not supposed to talk about maybe with your family and friends, but not people you don't know. I want to open up a discussion. I want to have people come to this with an open mind, an open heart, not bash each other. It's a touchy subject. I get that. So, you know, please feel free to leave a comment what you think of it, if it's something that you would be interested in, if I give it a try or something. You know, it's just nothing that I really want to see on your channel. And that's fine. I trust you guys. I appreciate the fact that you're my subscribers. So I am bringing that out there. I am laying it out on the table saying, this is part of who I am. I want to share that with you, but I understand to a certain degree if you feel uncomfortable with me doing that. So anyway, we're going to leave it at that. I appreciate you so much spending some time with me. Like I said, I will link the new products down below in the description box, and then I will also list the other items that I used down there as well. So if you like this kind of video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Subscribe so you can get in on the makeup and potentially hot topic fun. And check me out on Instagram at the Pesky Snarkatarian. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.